how to stay consistent when you are working towards a goal. Maybe it's a personal goal that you're working towards, and maybe it's a business goal that you're working towards. That is what I'm going to be talking about today. Is I have 4 tips that have helped me a great deal to stay consistent and to work towards my goal no matter what comes into my life. So, if you have not met me before, my name is Anna Olson. I am a coach and mentor teaching small business owners how to use the attraction marketing system to grow their business on social media. So if you're joining me live, please say hello. Tell me where you're coming in from. Make sure that you approve StreamYard so that I can see your comments. Hopefully I can see some comments. I know in the past there's been a couple of times I can't see any comments, which is very frustrating. They keep telling me that I should be able to see the comments. But anyway, I wanted to get this information out here for you. I know that it has been very helpful for me in getting the work done that I wanted to do and how to stay consistent. If you're watching the replay, just give me let me know what was important, what you found to be very helpful for you, and I will come back and communicate with you from there. But anyway, so let's talk about, consistency. When I first got started in business, there were so many things that people were doing, and I would look at what others were doing and I'd start doing this, and then something else came up. It was like the shiny object syndrome. I couldn't stay consistent, and I was very frustrated by that. It was like I wasn't having any success anywhere because I wasn't being consistent on what I was doing. So it was very frustrating for me. But I have done a lot of research and I've done a lot of practice. So today I wanted to kind of share what has been working for me. I had to kind of sit down and think about this, and I'm like, okay, so how did I get to this point and how did I get to that point? Well, here's the 4 things that I came up with. First of all, the number one thing you want to do is you want to isolate the goal. Isolate the goal. Write it down. Make yourself a sheet, whatever it takes. Isolate the goal that you have. Now, how are you going to be consistent to reach that goal? So it is human nature to go against consistency. It really is human nature. So you have to know that up front so that you can work on that and you can be aware of that and try to and work towards being consistent no matter what. But having it laid out on paper, what you're going to be doing, what the goal is and what you're going to be doing is the best way to get started. Okay. Number 2 was to focus on the increments, the improvements that you have made from one day to the next. Even if it was just a small improvement, focus on that improvement and celebrate that improvement. You don't develop a habit by doing it once or twice. They say it takes 21 times of doing it to develop a habit. But even then, it can be when the 21 times is up, it's like, okay, now I'm done, I'm moving on. Well, you want to stay consistent until you have reached your goal. So, but celebrating those tiny steps of improvement is so important because it feels like a celebration along the way. And that is important for you to feel like you're getting somewhere. And then fighting your emotions. Make sure you fight back your emotions. There's going to be all kinds of reasons to not be consistent. There's all kinds of reasons to not do this or not do that. It happens all the time. And you want to make sure that you fight back those things. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge the emotion that's there. But then just say, okay, I know you're there, but let's just move on and get it done. That's not an option. The emotion is not an option. And then number 4 is if you make a mistake, you weren't consistent for an hour or a day or whatever you want it to be, forgive yourself. Get right back on it. But you got to forgive your failures. It's not a failure. I said, forgive your failures, forgive your shortcomings, and learn from that and move on to the next best thing. To what you wanted to do. Move on to what you really wanted to do to begin with. So being able to forgive yourself and not throw the towel in and say, well, I wasn't successful, I wasn't consistent, so there goes that goal. No. Get right back on that bandwagon and go at it again. But don't allow a mistake, a shortcoming, to take you down a wrong path where you didn't want to be to begin with. So those are the 4 steps I have for being consistent and getting to your goals. One at a time. Do one at a time. One of the things that I really struggled with at the beginning was having too many goals at once and not enough focus on one. And so really make sure that you focus on one goal at a time and put these 4 tips in practice with your getting to your goal, and celebrate along the way. Enjoy the journey. Sometimes I think that we don't take enough time to enjoy the journey. Life is passing by so quickly. We got to enjoy life and enjoy the journey. So I hope you got some value from that today. Let me know what was valuable to you, and we'll talk to you all again on Wednesday. Have a great day, everyone.